Two short-range ballistic missiles Thursday afternoon. VOA's Bill Gallo reports from Seoul.
It was the second time North Korea fired missiles in less than a week. South Korea's military said in a statement one of the projectiles traveled 420 kilometers and the other traveled 270 kilometers. The missiles were launched from a northwestern province and flew eastward. The province is home to a missile base that houses medium-range ballistic missiles. Bill Gallo, VOA News, Seoul.
The European Union is urging Iran to respect the international agreement curbing the Islamic Republic's nuclear ambitions. AP correspondent Charles de Ledesma reports.
The EU says it will continue trading with the country despite US sanctions, but they note with great concern statements from Iran concerning its commitments to the nuclear deal. The joint EU message came as the bloc struggles to preserve the 2015 accord. Officials say they regret the reimposition of sanctions by the US and remain determined to continue pursuing efforts to enable the continuation of legitimate trade with Iran. To this end, they've set up a complicated barter-type system in an attempt to evade American sanctions. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
U.S. and China trade negotiators will resume talks today amid a dramatic escalation of tensions. The talks come hours before the Trump administration said to sharply boost tariffs on some Chinese imports. The president's decision to raise them was a surprise since administration officials had been suggesting negotiators were making steady progress on a deal between the world's two largest economies. But earlier this week, the administration accused Beijing of backsliding on earlier commitments, throwing the talks into disarray. China is suggesting it will retaliate if the president moves ahead with the new tariff hikes. This is VOA News. Pope Francis issued a groundbreaking law Thursday requiring all Catholic priests and nuns around the world to report clergy sexual abuse and cover-up by their superiors to church authorities. AP correspondent Nicole Winfield reports the new law includes whistleblower protections so priests and nuns don't face retaliation for reporting abuse or cover-ups.
Anyone who is making a report, particularly a report against their superior, cannot suffer any kind of prejudice, discrimination, or retaliation for having done so. This whistleblower protection is a novelty for the Vatican, and it addresses one of the main reasons why the hierarchy for so long has not been sanctioned. It's because people were afraid of reporting them.
That's AP correspondent Nicole Winfield. The law is the latest effort by Pope Francis to respond to the global eruption of the sex abuse and cover-up scandal that has devastated the credibility of the Catholic hierarchy and his own papacy. South Africa's Electoral Commission has announced it will conduct an audit of Wednesday's national elections after receiving reports of double voting. VOA's Anita Powell has the details.
The commission assured South Africans that while the audit was underway, other safeguards remained in place to preserve the integrity of the voting process. However, the Electoral Commission's announcement marks the first time the body will take such action and risks delaying official results. Of the votes tallied thus far, South Africa's ruling African National Congress Party has an early lead in the national elections, but has seen its share of the vote drop. Analysts tell VOA that the audit may also bring about additional challenges from political parties, further delaying the results. Anita Powell, VOA News, Johannesburg.
AP correspondent Mike Hempen reports the Senate Intelligence Committee renewed its interest in talking to Donald Trump Jr. after the president, his former lawyer, Michael Cohen, testified earlier this year.
Cohen told a House committee in February that he briefed Trump Jr. approximately 10 times about a plan to build a Trump Tower in Moscow before the 2016 election. Trump Jr. told the Senate Judiciary Committee in 2017 he was only peripherally aware of the proposal. Mike Hempen, Washington.
Sri Lankan Catholic officials said on Thursday that church-run schools that have been closed since Easter Sunday bombings are expected to reopen next week, and Sunday masses will resume this weekend if security conditions are appropriate. Archbishop of Colombo, Cardinal Malcolm Ranjit, said priests have been asked to decide whether to hold services at their churches this Sunday depending on the security situation. More than 250 individuals were killed when suicide bombers struck 3 churches and 3 tourist hotels on Easter Sunday. For pictures, videos, stories, and more, follow the Voice of America on social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. From Washington, I'm Steve Miller, VOA News.
This is Border Crossings.